My daughter, Teen, loves her uncle a lot, but she's angry at him right now. Walking home together one day, we saw an emaciated dog tied to a pole in front of an empty house. The owner must have abandoned her there. My daughter had tears in her eyes. I was already thinking of calling my wife and asking if I could bring the poor dog home before my daughter begged me. I took a picture and sent it to my wife with a couple of texts, and she said yes. When my brother-in-law saw the dog, he said, "He's probably going to die by the end of the week. Don't know why you bothered taking him home." She teared up a bit at that. It's been over a month now and he's still alive and recovering well. My daughter still didn't want him at her birthday party though. She's still upset at him for saying that we should have left her dog there and asked us not to invite him. He hasn't apologized for his remarks either, insisting he was only being realistic. Brother-in-law was upset, saying that I was wrong for denying him the opportunity to celebrate with his niece. I asked, "What did you expect?" My wife then said that I was being petty with the comment. Am I the idiot for asking my brother-in-law, "What did you expect," when my daughter didn't want him at her birthday? Not the idiot. Your brother-in-law sounds like one of those people who take pride in being honest, when really they're just insensitive, thoughtless or cynical jerks. Good for you for supporting your daughter, and your response was exactly right. If he wants to cling to his right to say what he wants, he can learn to live with the natural consequences. Yeah, honesty and tact are not mutually exclusive. What a shame that he can't understand that, and as far as I understand it, no one asked for his thoughts on the matter. It makes me crazy whenever people spout rude comments and defend themselves with, "I'm just being honest." No, you're just an idiot. No one asked, and your opinion doesn't matter. Your daughter may have seen a red flag in her uncle. He sees a sick, abandoned dog and thinks it should be ignored to die alone, i.e. depraved indifference. You and your daughter see the same dog and rush to provide it with TLC whether it lives a day, month, year, etc. That's a huge shock to her, seeing that defect in her uncle, and she's very wise not to want him anywhere near her. He is cruel. I wonder if there's anything about the brother-in-law that OP could be brutally honest about. "Hey bro, you look like an orangutan with a skin condition, and you smell like a dead armadillo." What? I'm just being honest. My bet is your wife is used to his behavior and has learned to excuse it, as is often the case with those who pride themselves on their brutal honesty and their enablers. Fortunately, your daughter is better than that. Let's hope she stays that way. I wouldn't want to be around him either. I'm not sure I'd want to spend much time chatting with your wife for that matter. Sorry, I'm just being realistic. Mini update. I'm not severing familial relationships. It's not like I left no avenue for reconciliation. My daughter really loves visiting her grandparents, and my brother-in-law lives with them. She still sees them once every few weeks, so I didn't burn the bridges. I didn't go nuclear. It's just the birthday party. She doesn't want him at her party. I did ask him to apologize to her, but he said he was only being realistic, and that it's a miracle the dog is still alive. I am so tired. My son, Teen, has been intentionally messing up all his chores. I started to teach him how to cook more complex stuff. I expect him to cook dinner twice a month, complex meals like roasted veg, and I tried some simple soups, and other stuff like proper deep cleaning, how to clean the bathroom well, laundry, think grown-up chores. He messes up. At first, I thought he was just having a harder time, so I spent more time on it with him. It drove me insane because I tried so many ways to teach him, and I was getting quite frustrated. I even went to book an appointment to see if he had ADHD or something. I cancelled it after I heard him talking with his friends, bragging about how he got out of his chores by messing them up. I sat him down and talked to him, and he denied that, saying he didn't get it. He went as far as to say it wasn't a big deal that he couldn't do it. So after that, I've been messing up his stuff on purpose to show how much of an inconvenience it is. For example, he forgot to turn on the dryer and he had wet clothes. We argued today, thinking I'm a huge jerk and that he knows I'm doing it on purpose. I told him that was the point and I wouldn't stop until he does his stuff correctly. He won't talk to me and my husband is on his side. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Since your husband is on his side, let him handle the chores originally assigned to your son. Oh, dinner isn't on the table? Well, that's too bad. Guess I'll be having some fancy meal I'd pre-made for tomorrow. Would you like to have some? Oops, sorry, there's only enough for me. Am I selfish? No, I'm just hungry. You want something to eat? There is the kitchen. Help yourselves. Oh, your room isn't clean? Well, here's the mop. Trash still needs to be taken out. Gosh, the smell in your room must be horrendous. You didn't clean the bathroom? Yeah, I figured you had a number 2. The smell made it quite obvious. Your laundry isn't done? How so when the washer and dryer are right here? Be snarky and unapologetic about it. They're not ready to put in their fair share of work? Well, that's too bad. Neither are you. And tell your son that a teen who doesn't know how to clean a toilet, do his laundry, or cook a simple meal twice a month is ridiculous and borders on pathetic. There was an article about a woman who took her husband's car keys because he couldn't figure out how to work a washing machine. If that's too hard, then he shouldn't be driving as it could be dangerous. He should only learn to drive if these basic things are manageable for him. LOL. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Normally, I'd advise against childish tactics, but the lack of support from your husband means you don't have any other cards to play. If he doesn't have an issue with your son's behavior, then he can take over your son's chores. Yeah, you don't just have a son problem, you have a husband problem. Oh man, at first I was skeptical, like you might be the idiot, but once you overheard him bragging about it and then he denied it, I can't think of a better tool for the job. What I want though is an update. I mean, wet clothes are awesome and I want to hear what else you come up with. I did the wet clothes and I didn't remove the plastic off the cheese slice for his lunch. I forgot to use the iron for his clothes. The cups that he uses regularly were washed facing up in the dishwasher so they filled with dirty water. He forgot to pack his books, so that stayed on the counter and I didn't remind him. Really, everything I do for him I've been forgetting to do or screwing them up in some way. I'm only on day 3, he didn't really notice the first day. I'm confused with my husband on this. He does pull his weight with the chores, so I don't understand why he backs up our son on this. I know he wants our kid to be a kid, but kids do chores. My husband and I moved back to his hometown in July and he started working for a company across the street from a gas station he frequents. Over the past few months, he's commented on how he's gotten to know the employees there by name, who are all women, and how the older women love him. I've been in there a few times personally and never once seen an older woman there, but there's also a small restaurant there, so I just figured that maybe the woman he's talking about works in the kitchen or something. We gave birth to our daughter in September and the talk of this woman ceased for a month, but now she's getting brought back up. Little playing stuff like, I'll just go to the gas station because X loves me so she'll give it to me for free, when he was talking about wanting a beer but not wanting to spend the money. Again, I didn't think anything of it, but then he comes back with gift bags full of brand new clothes, or I noticed new clothes in our daughter's room that we definitely didn't have before, so I finally asked him where this stuff came from, and he was weird when he told me that the woman from the gas station got them for the baby. Like he was quiet and acted like he didn't want to tell me type of weird. Now I'm starting to have a problem with this. He supposedly didn't know this woman before he started working across the street from her, and that seems like a short period for acquaintances to become this comfortable. As I said, I've never seen an older woman working there, and now she's going out of her way to buy my kid clothes from expensive places like LL Bean and Carter's. I told my husband I'm not comfortable with this anymore. It's weird, I don't like it, and I'm starting to question the nature of their relationship, because he's been working more hours, which could be unrelated, but who knows because his paychecks aren't reflecting it. My friend thinks I'm an idiot because it's obvious your husband is obsessed with you. I highly doubt he would cheat, but I'm genuinely not sure at this point because I don't know why a woman would go out of her way to do stuff to this extent for a married man unless he gave a reason to think he was interested. Edit, I've questioned the overtime hours because his pay actually dropped. So he was given a $3 raise and that was when he started working extra. It was about a week after I gave birth, so he said he wanted to clock in hours to get the extra money for the baby, and that was completely understandable. But he went from working 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 6 p.m. every night, and his paychecks are almost $300 less than before he started working the overtime. Not the idiot. The fact that he's put the clothes into the baby's room without telling you that they were a gift from her tells me everything I need to know, personally. If he wasn't being shady, he wouldn't hide the clothes or act bashful when he's forced to admit who they're from. Next time, go with him to see this generous older woman. His behavior and story is damn suspicious. If he's spending more time than usual at work and the pay isn't reflecting it, that's a big red flag. I don't think you're the idiot for feeling uncomfortable and saying so. Are you sure this is a gas station friend and not a work friend? Or your friend who doesn't think the husband's behavior is strange? Oh my, I hadn't even considered that angle. People who are obsessed with their spouses can still cheat and do bad things. I'm pretty sure he's cheating either physically or emotionally. You need to drop by for a visit during one of his late work days. Bring him some food so you don't look suspicious. You could also stop by the gas station and say, "I'm so-and-so's wife and I wanted to thank the person who's been so generous with our daughter." Bring a nice thank you card so you look sincere. My ex was cheating and would get mad if I surprised him on his lunch with food. He'd take the food and ask what the heck I was doing there and then slam the door on me. My current partner gets excited when I visit him and bring him food, and he introduces me to everyone he works with. Their reaction is always telling. OP, your friend doesn't think it's suspicious that your husband works more hours but brings home less money, or you've never seen this older woman at the gas station. Maybe I spend too much time here, but now I'm suspicious about your friend. Does your friend live with a romantic partner? If not, drive by her house next time her husband is working OT and see if he's there. Girl, I think he's cheating, and she's buying the baby clothes because she's planning to replace you soon. I got the results of my non-invasive prenatal testing blood work today, and we both agreed with the doctor at the time that we would like to know the gender of the baby. The doctor called me while my husband was away and said that the results looked good and she would email me the results shortly after. The email landed and I looked through the results in excitement and saw that we were having a boy. When my husband returned from work, I greeted him at the door and told him the good news. He was unhappy that I spoiled the surprise for him and robbed him of the moment. He wanted us to go through the results together, which he did not tell me. I apologized and said I was just excited to know that our baby was healthy and that we could still go look at the results together. He said there was no point, the moment was gone, and that I never think when it comes to situations like this. He proceeded to call me inconsiderate and selfish. I apologized again, saying that I didn't mean to hurt his feelings or ruin the surprise. I just thought he'd be happy knowing our baby is healthy and happy, regardless of gender. The last thing he said to me was that I'm now responsible for buying all the baby's things because I spoiled the surprise for him. It's been 3 hours and he hasn't said anything to me. I feel so guilty that I might have robbed him of a chance to celebrate, but at the same time, is this the thing to be upset about? Am I the idiot? Edit, that being said, since I do make more, I've been more than happy to take on a bigger share of financial responsibility. So far, I've been paying for my OB visits, though he did pay half for the NIPT testing. You are not the idiot. Yikes, that treatment is red flag behavior. I understand being disappointed that he didn't get to find out the way he wanted, but that didn't make it any less of a surprise for him. And now you're responsible for buying the baby's things? That's another giant red flag. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether you meant he wanted you to go shopping for everything yourself, putting the labor burden on you, or that he wanted to hold you financially responsible for the purchases as punishment. Neither is cool. This is your child with him, and you should share the labor and expenses. Just because you make more than him doesn't mean financial punishment is okay. It seems like you already have one baby in the house. He only wants the symbolic parts of parenthood and none of the details. He's already not interested in learning more about the baby's health. He's already refusing to participate in buying baby things, which typically would be something to do together. I doubt you're in for a smooth parenting ride with him around. Giving you the silent treatment and refusing to help pay for your kid is simply too ridiculous for me to fathom. Girl, get a damn backbone. He's punishing you for a mistake. This is still his child. He loves and respects you, or he doesn't. He either is a father to that child or he is not. You don't need to parent the tantrum of an adult man. I, male 32 and my wife 30, have been married for 5 years and have a son in kindergarten. About 6 months ago, my wife decided to become a vegetarian for ethical and environmental reasons. She asked me to support her in this decision and follow the same diet. I agreed, but I wasn't very enthusiastic about it. Initially, I tried to adapt to the new diet, but I soon realized it wasn't for me. I missed the taste and texture of meat, and vegetarian alternatives didn't satisfy me. I also didn't see much difference in my health or weight. I started getting irritable and moody because of the lack of meat. So I decided to break the diet secretly. I started going to a fast food restaurant near my workplace before heading home and had a sandwich with meat. I felt much better afterward and thought I wasn't causing harm to anyone. I didn't tell my wife because I didn't want to start a fight. I thought it was just a harmless lie. However, a few weeks ago she found out. She was doing our laundry and saw the fast food receipt in my pocket. She confronted me and asked me if I was eating meat. I couldn't deny it and admitted that I had been breaking the diet for months. She was furious with me and called me a liar and a traitor. She said I was being dishonest with her. I tried to explain that I just wanted to eat what I liked and had no intention of hurting her. She didn't want to listen and gave me the silent treatment. She only interacts with our son. I feel a bit guilty, but I think she's dragging this on for too long. Am I the idiot? I didn't tell my wife because I didn't want to start a fight. How did that work out? LOL. You're not the idiot for eating the meat, but you are the idiot for not telling your wife when she asked you to support her on her new diet that you didn't wish to do something. You suck for not just telling her no and sneaking around like some teenager. It's amazing how many people choose to lie to their spouse rather than just have an adult conversation. On another note, why did she need support for not eating something? It was her choice. Did she need to make him take her route of choice as well? Also, the fact she didn't notice how it was affecting his mood, aka mental health, red flags, red flags. The issue here is that she seems to be forcing, in a way, her morals. She could have asked but not force, which you can tell from how she reacted when she found out. Yeah, he lied, but her reaction was too much. Also, does she force vegetarianism on her son? He is a young child. She doesn't seem to have done much research. You need to keep the kid eating a healthy balance. Do not force any kind of food morals on your kid. The wife told him he was a traitor for eating meat. I understand why you didn't want to stir the pot to keep peace. OP, your wife is controlling. You need to grow a pair, sit her down, and tell her that you can decide your diet and she has no say in it. Given her response to your white lie, I think this behavior is just the beginning, so you need to stamp this out.